We have Professor Dr. Muhaya today to speak to us about how you are going to conduct yourself with aplomb in 2010. Good morning and welcome, Professor.
Good morning, Angie. Yeah.
Fantastic to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Just the person to pick us up and perk us up this morning and also for 2010. Now, first and foremost, let's just start. What is 2010 to you, Professor?
2010 will be just like any other years I've been. It's always going to be prosperous, joyous, happiness, and abundance.
Okay.
Every year is a good year.
Every year is...
Every day is a miracle.
Okay.
We celebrate life every day. So what we want to tell the viewers out there, all of us live in this year and years ahead. What we achieve this year will be exactly the same what we achieved last year if our pattern of thinking are the same.
Right.
Because all of us traveling on a ship with the same gale that's coming, but where we reach our destination depends on how we set our sail.
Right.
So every year we must say we want to set our sail correctly, where we have the 5 pillars of life I mention always. We want to sit back and do self-examination and plan for self-correction. In the 5 areas, we look and do audit of ourselves. How has our physical health been in the last year? How's our mental health? How's our spirituality connection to our Creator? How's our relationship with our loved ones and our peers? And of course, our financial status.
Right.
So by knowing what we are now, and we have to determine the roadmap for the years ahead. We are here today because our thought pattern may be 20, 30 years ago. We're going to be in 20, 30 years depends on our thought pattern today. So that's when, for every year, most people set goal, but don't achieve.
Correct.
Why? Because there's a difference between goal setting and goal achieving. Because we set our goal with our conscious mind. We have one brain, but 2 mind. One is our conscious mind, that we do our perception, thinking, reasoning, imagination. But the other one is our subconscious mind. That is our personality, our connection to God. Our central operating system, our computer is our subconscious mind. So we set goal with our conscious mind, we achieve with our subconscious mind. But why aren't we able to achieve? Because we do not have the belief. Only when we believe, we send the correct belief to our subconscious mind, then our subconscious mind will attract people, circumstances, and situations into what we want to achieve.
Opportunities and possibilities as well.
Yes.
Right. Well, Professor, now I've got a question. Some people start off the year positively, right? You say with goal setting, things like that. And of course, we know what, but we don't know how. Okay, that's one thing. But on the other hand, there are some people who start the year off maybe somewhat a little bit, maybe slow. Okay, that's the word. Because maybe they're picking off from last year. They say, well, I haven't achieved as much, and this year's going to be scary for me. So what about people who are not really in that positive mindset yet? What can you tell them in order to gear up their subconscious, and also how to make sure that they have, they perk up before they start and embark on this, I must say, actually quite enjoyable journey in life?
Very well said, Angeline. Number one, we have to know this notion. You will achieve it if you believe it and you see it. Most people, why they are negative, they look at their present result. They say, oh, I didn't achieve much last year, so I don't think I can achieve it this year. See, they allow the external to affect their internal. They live from out to within, whereas we should live from within to out. In other words, we can allow the current result affect our thinking. We must start with good thought first. I say every time, again and again, vitamins for the mind: think good thoughts, say kind words, take good action. So we never allow our outside environment, what people say about us, what the news say, what the environment say, to determine. We must have a good positive inner talk. You just said, I'm grateful for what I have, I'm hopeful for what is coming, and I know God is almost merciful and most compassionate and will give anything that I want, because what you earn in life, what you achieve, is what you expect. So for those people who are very negative, they must look back and say, I've been very negative all this while, that's why this is what I get. So I'm going to change to have a positive mental attitude, which is the key thing to everything in life, Angeline. You can have one thing happen to one person, two different person, but the perception is different. For example, we take this cup.
Okay.
Yeah? Since they're quite symmetrical, it's a bit difficult. But if I say that there is some letters here, and there's a handle on this cup, nobody will believe. Because they were looking from this side.
Correct.
But when I turn, oh, there is a handle. So if you change the way you look at things, things will be different. So for those who are negative, start being on a positive mode. And always, every day, you do an audit of your emotion. What am I feeling today? Am I full of anger, guilt, despair, hate? Then you are at a lower vibration.
Right.
Bad things will happen to you. You go to higher vibration, accepting, forgiveness, loving, prosperous, joy, inner peace, enthusiasm. You have very high, they have done studies on this. If you have very high emotion, they have done muscle testing, where if you think good thoughts, you become very strong physically. If you think negative thoughts, you become weak physically. And we know there's such thing called psychoneuroimmunology, where thinking, we call it mimetics, affects our genes, affects our physical manifestation. I've told before about visualization, where we think of something sour, we get salivation.
Right.
In other words, our mind can affect our physiology. Our spirit is something that we have thinking. Our mind is in which we think about things, and it's our physical manifestation come from this thought, emotions, and action. So we must all get all these three in alignment. So for 2010, I call all Malaysians to start thinking positive and have this expectation. This is a prosperous nation. We're going to do very well. We're going to take care of ourselves individually and make sure we think of how much we can give, how much we can add value to the world rather than what we can get.
Right.
And define our success by we are successful if our close one love and respect us.
Okay.
Don't have anything bad about people, and I say again and again. If something negative happened to us, it means we have given negative. Because we always get what we give. What we sow is what we reap. And we can never give something that we do not have. So if we have negative inside, then only we can give negative outside. So we have something negative, we give negative. When we give negative, we get negative. So we don't want to tell people we get negative things, because we know where we are moving from.
Right. Hence my theme for the year, okay, be the change you want to see in others.
Right.
Correctly
said. Well said.
Right, okay, well, I'll try to put that in practice anyway, okay, but, well, Professor, now coming to, reality as well, okay, what do you think 2010 personally would, hold in store for Malaysians in terms of, maybe psychological or physical challenges? What do you think are the main issues that are going to be our main concerns, and how do we have that optimum peak thinking or behavior in order to cope?
I'm very optimistic about 2010 because now our Prime Minister has talked about One Malaysia. It's a very good concept because one means everything is one. We come from one source, God. We are all children of God, one. We live in one earth. No matter what our geography location, what our ethnicity, what our differences, we look into what is common rather than uncommon, and I really look forward. It's a very good concept the Prime Minister has given, and we can work along that line. So it's going to be really prosperous, happy, joyous year.
Okay, fantastic. Now tell us about goal setting. Okay, you mentioned before goal setting, some people succeed, some people fail, because ultimately it's also how you go ahead and, have that mindset and put it together to your goals. Now tell us from the very basics, how ideally do we set goals? How many? Okay, 3, too little, too many. Okay, let's start from the basics and let's work our way up.
Right, sometimes we don't know. When we compartmentalize or we divide things, organize, it's better. The 5 pillars, I say, look into physical health. You must have specific goal. You must look at your current weight, your current BMI, and tell what you want. And visualize yourself as being healthy. Have a positive self-image about your health. Number 2, your mental. Watch what TV program you are watching, what books you are reading, who your friends are, because all this affect your mental health. Ensure to tune in to television program or channels that educate your mind. Number 3, spirituality. We are like a glass from the ocean where God's wealth is. If we are disconnected from the ocean that we are from, we become very weak. So we must have this connection all the time. For me as a doctor, I say I do surgery. I'm just a tool from God, of God, to give help to you. So there's no arrogance or frustration if things don't do well, and arrogance if things go so well. And number 4, your relationship. So you look back how your relationship is and what you want to improve. And relationship, of course, to your loved one, to your colleagues, to so vertical, horizontal, and of course there are living and non-living things. That is non-human. And number 5, financial situation. You want to change your habits. And what I suggest to achieve goal, number 1, goal is something that you want to do, the methods. But first, you must know your purpose in life. The highest thing is to know your purpose in life. Why am I doing this? So before having a purpose, you must have a vision. Vision is something, what you see yourself in 5, 10 years or 15, or how you die. It's your vision. Your purpose is why. So vision is what, your purpose is why you do it, and goal is the how. So to achieve goal, you must be specific. And you must believe you can do it and have a visualization of image of you achieving the goal. So if you want to be slim, if you say, oh, if I eat little bit, I become fat. No, you just say, I easily and joyfully maintain my perfect weight. See, most people, they want to achieve a perfect health. They only enjoy the result. No, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of exercising, of drinking 10 glasses of 8-ounce glass, and drinking take good supplement, fresh fruit, antioxidants. Enjoy the process of learning good things, learning who you make friends with. Enjoy the process of praying or whatever religion you are, meditation or yoga or whatever religion, connected. And enjoy your relationship. When you are with your spouse, how often do we say good things to our spouse? How often we say thank you to them? How often we praise them? Enjoy every moment. Many people are striving but never arriving. Because they have the disease of getting more. And number 5, of course, financial, you want to audit. So I want to call out to Malaysians out there. Try to have a change of fuzzy thinking to clear thinking. What is clear thinking? We go more for knowledge rather than achievement. We want our students to study for the knowledge, not to score 17A. Because achievement is outside. Remember, we live from happiness, not for happiness. Number 2, we want to go for ethics rather than rules. If things are not good, we can never improve by increasing number of rules. No, we increase ethics, conscience. And we want to think about more of serenity rather than acquisition. You want to have this inner peace rather than having of disease more. You know? So you want to do things with full of discipline, full of wisdom, and love what you do, and at the same time you become to a state of a surrender. Whatever we do in our life, and these 4 stages you must know. You must have the discipline. Then you do it, you know why, with wisdom. Then you do unconditional love what you're doing. Whatever you are doing, you must love what you do what you love. Then you go state of surrender. All knowing, you know God is going to make everything perfect. Everything will be okay. You say this every day. In my world, everything is perfect. Because we create our own universe by our thinking. Both of us can be in the same place, but I may be stressed and you may be calm. It's your thought pattern. And the only freedom that humans have in this world is to choose your attitude to situation. Choose your thought every day, and that will determine your life. So 2010 will be the same if someone go on the same mode of thinking. As Einstein say, the mind, a problem can not be solved by the same mind that created it. So we have to change our paradigm, our change of thinking, our emotion has to be changed.
So that might be the key word, change. Now, well, let's just see what Terence Das has to say. Terence, do you have any questions, Terence?
Well, just one, Prof. Maybe, Prof, you can answer me this. For those of us that have resolutions which are unachieved or unaccomplished from last year, should we carry them forward into this year, or should we just say, okay, well, this is something I cannot do, so put it aside?
Okay, well said, Terence. See, sometimes when I say resolution, it sounds so big, you know. But why don't we break things into small chunks? We have certain concept, the 5 pillars, but we must have this notion that every day is a success. We determine every day is a masterpiece. How? By making good decision, maintain good discipline. And if every day is a success, you cannot help but be successful. And we must take effective action. What is effective action? Something that we do in the name of God. We don't live to impress people. We live to impress God. Because if you impress God, you're always connected. Because who throw the love in people's heart for you? Who allow you to be successful in whatever you do? Who allow you to get that contract or project or health, whatever? It's God. We must have this strong notion that our sense of connection, then So as an answer to Terence, I suggest that every day before we sleep, we must write down what we want to do the next day.
Right.
We write about 6 things. Then we do one. As we are doing one, don't think of number 2.
Okay.
Finish one, then do number 2. Finish 2, then do number 3. Be in the moment, ensure and actually choose one by one. Most people, why they don't achieve? They're doing this, they think of that.
Right.
So they're never focused. So there are 7 power principles. Number 1, we must have a vision. Then we must have take good action, but we must be focused, and we must have a good attitude to that. We must be persistent in what we do, and we must be disciplined. And of course, most of the time people cannot achieve because they tend to not persevere.
Right.
So perseverance, they say, it's like carbon to steel to success.
The last key ingredient, okay, perseverance, right?
Yes.
And of course, remember yourself always. And well, also, those are the few tips, okay, that the good professor has actually given us, okay, to continue on our journey into 2010 to make sure that we are happy, okay, and remember, happiness is a habit. Right now, we'll go on to Terence Das, and later on we'll have a discussion on the future of sports in Malaysia. So Terence, take it away. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Angie.